It's a good day today to pat ourselves on the back on what a journey that we've come, where 77 years are concerned. While we are evolving, there's, innovation, and we are ready to embrace that innovation. But it all stands on one document that has endured 77 years and will continue to endure. And that is the document of the Indian Constitution that holds our diversity together, that seamlessly braids all our traditions, all our culture, all together in a uniform manner, which we call India, and we celebrate it today. So it's a good day to do that. I'm going to get in all our guests once again, and this time around to say what was their favorite part. Did they have a favorite float, a favorite moment? And Sandeep, let's begin with you. You wanted the air-to-surface missiles. Which was the one that you wanted?
Well, the long-range anti-ship missile, the LRASHM. It's not just a missile because it's a capability that as Admiral Sinha mentioned, it was about technology. This is about a kind of capability that will bring India into a very select club of nations that have indigenously developed hypersonic missile capability. We've crossed the supersonic barrier with the BrahMos missile. That's an Indo-Russian joint venture. It flies at 3 times the speed of sound. This is a hypersonic missile, Mark 5 to Mark 8 and even beyond. So this is India literally, ensuring that if you have good fences, you have good neighbors. We have no, aggressive intent on anyone, but we want to deter conflict. The aim of having a strong military is not to invade other countries, but it is to deter conflict. And it is precisely through instruments like this, the LRASHM, which I saw today, is an instrument that will deter any adversary from forcing themselves on us in the Indian Ocean, in the maritime domain. It's a very powerful counter to that, and that is what I thought was the LRASHM float for me.
All right, so that was your money shot. The geopolitical money shot would be the Prime Minister standing with our 2 chief guests, because that's geopolitical messaging. But you thought it was that, right? Let's bring in Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni. What was your favorite part of the parade today?
I think very difficult to choose. Fly past, of course, yes, but every event, right from the time you see how even Captain Shukla received his Ashok Chakra, to the various contingents, the children over there, women empowerment, so many women participating in the parade. I think everything, the takeaway is that we have arrived. It is for us now to ensure that we continue. And to top it up, the 77th, and the 2 of us as veterans are 70 plus. So it's fantastic feeling that the 77th Republic Day that we are here in your studios, and 2 of us are 70 years old. So it's so perfectly fine.
And so, it's not just you being here as veterans. You had a veteran tableau today.
Yes.
That had veterans
Absolutely.
from all tri-services being honored. And I think it is so important to do that, because we stand so firm with the past, or the past that the likes of you build, and it's time, and it's a good day to honor that as well. Vice Admiral Shekhar Sinha, your favorite part of the parade today?
It will be very unfair to select one and not select the rest. I would say the theme of this entire thing, entire show today, that I carry home, is telling the world that Bharat has arrived, and it is heading to become Viksit Bharat, maybe before 2047. And how, from where to where, how it has been depicted by every tableau. And it only reflects that, we are rooted, and yet we have come here. And we will continue to do this. And this is what European Union President is here. She must know that we are not away from reality. Look at the Prime Minister's popularity in the people. It really reflects that, okay, fine. People are the ones who are actually driving everything else. So we have arrived, and world has to take note of this.
Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor.
Having camels to horses to dogs, to having hypersonic
Raptors.
missile on the same road in one parade is my biggest takeaway. It shows from where we have come, where we are headed, and like Admiral Sinha just said, in my appreciation, there will be a term coined by end of this decade, and that will be G3. And India would be the 3rd person to sit on the table now as a team of G3.
All right, the third country to sit on the table. You know, today was a day which is loaded with messaging, be it political messaging, be it, our military prowess. Sandeep, there are lots to take away and unpack as we look back on not just our 77 years, but also just the optics of today. And I think one of, personally, what I love is that the Delhi skies, actually came good. We didn't see a grey, rainy sky, which was hazy with pollution. Delhi actually put its best foot forward, telling our chief guest that when we clean up a bit, we do a good job.
Absolutely, Preeti, and those blue skies are going to be unforgettable. Probably Prime Minister Modi knew a thing about those skies, because if you saw his jacket, it was light blue as well. It was possibly a wish and that he had made, and that came true. We had blue skies, and we could see for the first time, as Marshal Kapoor mentioned, that, and he's been through a lot of such air displays. We could see all our aircraft in their finest glory, all of the hard work that the Air Force had put to make this a spectacular success. All that was thanks to those blue skies that we saw today, Preeti.
Well, you're right there, blue skies there, and befitting that you had our chief guest also looking resplendent in a brocade Banarasi jacket. Optics-wise, it all came together, but now we'll tell you what to look ahead, because today was a day of celebration, but these are also times of geopolitical uncertainty, and the reason we had the kind of chief guests that we did was for a reason, and the brass tacks of it all will emerge tomorrow, because, the great deal that is being spoken of, what are the contours of that deal, Sandeep?
The mother of all deals, Preeti, and this has been something that's been in the pipeline since 2007. The EU is not the EU it was in 2007, and India certainly is not the India it was in 2007. And a lot of this has been accelerated by the Trump and tariffs, the two T's that have hit the world. Literally like a comet over the last 1 year or so. And both the EU and India have reason to make common cause on this. Again, to recall what Mark Carney said about the way the world is, that there is a complete break from the past. And if you're not on the table, then you're on the menu, and you certainly don't want to be eaten by the bigger countries, certainly not by the G2, which is basically the US and China. So if you're not in either camp, then it's time for you to bury your differences and create a third front. So this is that third front that India and the EU have chosen to create.
And the optics that we saw, stitching that together.
Absolutely, stitching that together. That's a work in progress today. A lot of the hard work has already been done. A lot of the issues that were there, like the farm sector, for instance, which is a big issue for both sides, those have been put at rest. And that final document is going to be inked tomorrow, and that's going to be the big takeaway.
And we're going to be watching that very closely. We are going to be firmly reporting on that as well. While the geopolitical message today is a complete break from the past, what you see on your television screens as we forge forward, march ahead, literally so. We are so rooted in what our past is. And that was signified by the theme of the Republic Day today, Vande Mataram, and when we look ahead, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And both our past, present and future today came together briefly, replete with our cultural diversity on one stage. That was the Kartavya Path marking 77 years of India's Republic.